have no idea what they're about to see. A team that's actually ready. They're counting on us to quit. You don't stand a chance. This would be a kick. Today we're talking about the streamer who got accused of shocking his dog live when his dog dared to move from his spot on the camera. Then what followed was one of the largest crowdsourced investigations we've seen on the internet for a while. This is all while Hassan is in complete denial that he was wrong to begin with. I swear, if Hassan and Pirate Software were alone in the room, and the first one to apologize got to leave, they would both spend the rest of their lives in that room. But today we're talking about a single 1-minute clip that turned into several frame-by-frame analyses, accusations, and cover-ups, and enough, I guess, detective work to make Reddit and Twitter look like they're working overtime. So for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, this is Hassan Viker, better known online as Hassan Abi, a Turkish American streamer from California who's built one of the largest communities on Twitch. I think the only time I've ever mentioned him here on this channel before is by making a live Hassan reaction joke, as he upset a lot of YouTubers in the past by playing their content to essentially babysit his viewers while he wasn't streaming. He was just AFK. His reaction content is one thing, but playing some video uninterrupted is scumming to the creator. He's free to let it up. Before streaming full-time, he worked at the Young Turks, which is a news and opinion network founded by his uncle, Cenk Uygur. That's where he got started doing political reaction content.
Cenk is his uncle?
Before streaming full-time, he worked at the Young Turks, which is a news and opinion network founded by his uncle, Cenk Uygur. That's where he got started.
That's crazy.
Later on, he eventually moved to Twitch and building massive audience by streaming political debates, arguments, and just genuinely being opinionated about capitalism and American politics.
I had no idea that Cenk was his uncle.
But this particular situation has nothing to do with political takes, because Hassan has a dog named Kyan, and she's basically becoming a regular part of the streams, usually sitting behind him on this little platform for hours. And I guess that setup is what started this whole mess, because this week, a clip from Hassan streams started making the rounds on social media, especially on Twitter and Reddit. In this video, Kaya starts moving like she's about to get up to her spot, and then Hassan reaches for something on the side of the camera, and then right after that, the dog yelps and immediately sits back down. Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just go with the style. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? The clip blew up instantly with people asking what just happened. Within hours, viewers started throwing around theories that Hassan had pressed some kind of remote or button connected to a shock collar to keep Kaya in place on the stream. Now, the clip itself doesn't show clearly. You can't actually see what Hassan's doing. And you can't move a collar in that moment. But the timing of everything is very suspicious, because after Kaya yells, Hassan doesn't jump up to check if she's okay or anything like that. Instead, he just calls for a spoiled baby and tells her to stay where she is. So, for a lot of people, that reaction can be like, your dog just hurt itself somehow. You should at least glance over and make sure everything's fine. Like, I don't know. Like, the background just goes outside of the place. But if it's something else, maybe I think you want to see what including fellow streamers like XUC, because he pulled it up on his own broadcast and went through it frame by frame, and eventually saying that he was like 98% sure that it had to be a shock collar based on how the dog reacted and the timing of the whole clip. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get fair chance. Sound the solid boy. Good. Head over. Let it press. It's moving. Now it goes forward. I'm sitting. It's easy. And rolling. Now, his head goes forward properly. And see, back. Give an extra rest. The likeliness of wasted $5. Yeah, the likeliness of this thing is like 98%. And other creators are chiming in with their own takes as well. Some people try defending it by pointing out that a lot of these colors have vibration or beep mode that doesn't really actually shock the dog. It just gets their attention with the sound or vibration. But, I mean, even with that argument, people were asking why the dog would yelp at just a beep or vibration unless she'd been trained to associate that sound with something unpleasant. And then there's the bigger question of why Kaya seems so hesitant to move at all. Because if you go back and watch Hassan's streams, Kaya sits there in that exact spot for literal hours without budging, even when Hassan isn't looking at her. I mean, I have this little sleepy guy right here, and he has a bunch of beds throughout the house, and he just kind of comes and goes as he pleases, and alternates between resting in a bunch of these different beds. Hey, buddy. But people started digging up older clips showing what happened when Kaya tries to leave her platform. Sometimes Hassan glares at her, and sometimes he verbally commands her to go back. And sometimes just a look from Hassan gets the dog to return to the spot. Let's blast off Farlow Himbo back to defund police and face socialist mayor Mamnani for mayor, comrade Hassan, blah blah blah, all this stuff. Shh. Hey. Kaya, please. I don't even know why I tried to do this. I don't even know why I tried to do this. It's really extreme. It seems great. A lot of people are pointing out for a dog's breed that's supposed to be reactive and needs a lot of exercise, the pattern just seems odd. The streamer, Tectone, had a marked tweet stating that he'd always wondered how Hassan managed to keep the dog sitting behind him during the entire 8-hour stream, and that a shock collar would definitely explain it. He also called him out for using the dog as stream prop, like it was messed up, and suggested Kaya wasn't sitting there because she wanted to, because she was scared not to. Then Tectone brought up this old clip when Hassan talked about his previous dog, Fish, who passed away back in 2020. And that's when Hassan mentioned that his roommate wanted to go get a shock collar. But Hassan apparently already bought one, but claimed he didn't have the heart to use it.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for Fish, and his dog's barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
Apparently it was interesting for some people that Hassan admitted to owning one before, even if his story was that he never used it. But eventually, with everyone talking about this, Hassan decided to address this whole thing on a stream, but not the stream it happened, in a stream on a separate day. So then he explained that Kaya clipped herself with something, maybe the edge of the platform or something on the ground, and that's why she yelped. He then said he was using any kind of shock device or remote, but the internet still didn't buy it. For starters, viewers who analyzed the clip closely said they couldn't see anything Kaya could have actually clipped herself on. Her platform looked clear, and the way that she moved didn't really look like she caught onto anything. And then again, you have that whole issue of how Hassan reacted or didn't react at all when it happened. And people also noticed something about the timing just seemed pretty off, especially because Hassan had already seen the thing go viral for about an hour before he brought it up on stream. There's a moment where you can also see him reading the chat, quiet, seemingly distracted, and then getting up to call Kaya off camera.
At one point in these negotiations, an agreement was reached and signed by both sides, granting a $40 million increase in salaries and benefits. This is twice what other government employees can expect.
And when he finally sits back down, Kaya's gone from her usual spot and stays like this for the rest of the broadcast. This would have been the perfect opportunity to, bring Kaya over. Be like, hey, look, here's the collar I'm using. It's not a shock collar. All while on the same stream. It wasn't until the following days that things really started to unravel. Because some people on social media became obsessed with figuring out what kind of collar Kaya was actually wearing. And for other content creators, this was basically free content. If you look at the clips from this on stream, you can see that Kaya has a collar on. What type of collar could be this thing? Some people thought they could spot contact points on it, which would match up with the U-collar or shock collar design. Others argued it could be altered for air tag or standard vibration. Hassan eventually said that Kaya wears a vibration collar, which he described as a communication tool to get her attention when she's in the room or outside the house. He made sure to emphasize that vibration collars are different from shock collars, and that tons of dog owners use them to treat problems.
The vibration collars, what they were using, okay, to be like, oh my god, he has a collar that he's using to abuse her and shocking her. There are a lot of dogs who use this. Okay, there are also a lot of dogs, working dogs, that use a shock collar as well.
It's also interesting how he posted this long clip from the stream on YouTube, giving his side of the story, but made sure to cut out this part from his YouTube video where he mentioned just her.
I have collars for Kaya, and
Oh my
I
God,
put
that's
an
up right
air
now.
tag. I put an air tag on all of her collars to make sure that, I know where she's at. And one of the collars that people are pointing to from previous days or from like months ago is the collar that is a vibration collar. A collar that I use specifically to communicate with Kaya when she's free roaming at the park or when she is, off leash running around.
But here's the thing, because on the stream, he also starts defending shock collars. And to a lot of people, that sounded like he was kind of hedging his bet, like covering possible angles just in case someone eventually will actually shot around the wall.
And like they don't realize that even the e-collars that do shock are unironically used to train like service dogs, and they think it's like dog abuse in general. That's part of the reason why so many trainers have come out and been like, you guys are wrong. Like shock collars are not like tasing the dog. It's like a tendon machine. I have literally shocked myself in the past. Like, so people are just like oblivious to that in general. People don't understand because like, that it's just you're not supposed to train. You're supposed to let realize that like dogs need structure. They need to work. They need to be like very active. They need to get that out of their system. And not only that, but also in an effort to train them, a lot of the literally the disability dogs can't e-collar train with like what you would call a shock collar.
But I guess at some point, Hassan decided to show the collar stream to everyone around, except the way he did it only made everything worse. So because he held it up for like 2 seconds with his hand covering most of it, making it basically impossible to get it through the thing.
This is the one that people are talking about. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? There's the air tag, there's the vibrator. There are days where Kaya doesn't wear a collar. There are days where she wears a different collar. This, in and of itself, doesn't actually work in the way that you think it does. Okay? Here. This is the flashlight. Okay? And this is when it vibrates.
He never said what brand it was. He never showed me any kind of receipt of the box, and definitely didn't give people enough time to actually see what he was holding.
Here.
What if I told you this dish was actually healthy? Let's be real. Factor's menu is way healthier than the competition. Their chefs actually know what they're doing. Every meal's balanced and built to support my goals. I needed high-protein meals that aren't bland or boring. That's exactly what Factor delivers. The veggies, unreal. Proteins, top tier. I actually look forward to every meal. Factor helps me hit my goals every day. Right now, you also get free high-protein credits for a year when you sign up. You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Figured out.
Receipt of the box, and definitely didn't give people enough time to actually see what he was holding.
Here. This is the flashlight.
Oh, stop putting your fingers on it, man. Please.
Okay? And this is when it vibrates.
What? Guys, let me show you. Guys, you control over, guys. Let me show you the video. Let me show you anything, guys. I'm gonna show you. Ready? See? I spotted it. Brand new. You get the answer? It's right here. Like, come on, bro.
I fucked up. I was fucking up right there.
Why did you
Gotta be careful.
Capacity to
Got
vibrate.
to be careful.
And that's it.
So obviously, because of that just seemed even more off. So people were confused why you wouldn't just hold it up by the strap, let it dangle in clear view, maybe say what brand name it was. Like, there's so many things you could have added to this to just, completely shut down all the criticism. If it wasn't the actual shock collar. Because all he did was make things very awkward and make the few people who actually believed him start to doubt him even more. And then on top of that, what made this even worse is this was a full day after the controversy started, which also felt very suspicious. Like, why wait that long if you have nothing to hide? At this point, the internet basically turned into a crime investigation unit. People started comparing Kaya's collar to different products that you could buy online, trying to match the specific model. But really, the streamer Lonerbox was the first guy to crack the case. He posted this comparison showing what Hassan revealed to look like a specific e-collar model that definitely has shock capabilities, not just vibration. His analysis showed that the vibration-only version from the same brand looks very different from what Hassan showed on the stream.
Closely match the ET300 Mini Educator half-mile remote e-collar, which does have shock prongs. It seems to match in shape, in the positioning of the charging port, in the texture of the plastic, unlike this one with the much more curvy light than the one Hassan has. This one, which is vibrate only, also has its charging point on the side. The one Hassan has the charging point in the middle, much like the shocking version. The prongs that deliver the shock are simply remove them. You can just remove them. Or apparently, maybe, plausibly, ostensibly, cover them with black tape.
Then people spotted something else. There seemed to be electrical tape wrapped around parts of Kaya's collar. You hear me? And then the new working theory became that the song might have covered up the metal prongs made by the night them naked shock collars with vibration called some area. And pointed out the tape looked brand new, no scratches, no wear, no dog hair on it, so it didn't look like it was used. And the news from the wearer called the fan literally bought the collar himself and recreated how the song held one of the same spots in the tails and belts and it pretty much looked identical.
No, you are not. I know you didn't start shooting at me first, bitch.
That song shocks the dog with. Let's see it. The prongs that came with it, with my Dremel. Electrical tape over it, because it looks like he did electrical tape over it. Oh, pretty sus, man. Hold it up. Trying to hold it exactly how he did. Right, you might have to mirror it, because I think it was mirrored or something. I got a little baby hand, so my hand doesn't exactly fit his profile on the mirror. It looks exactly the same, bro. And from like the right angle, like in the shadow, the reflection, you can totally take all those keys and there's no electrical tape. And you take off the tape, matches up. Exact same. Like, there's the prong, the other prong, there's the charger port. I think I'm the older one, which is the one he has, or maybe it's just because it's worn. This screw right here, either the paint wore off, so it became silver, or it was just unpainted in the other one. But exact same thing.
And then here you have the side-by-side images of shock collars versus vibration collars from the same company, showing that Hassan's collar matched the shock version. And if that wasn't already a lot, someone put together a video showing exactly how long Kaya sat in that controversy and turned out to be about 4 hours. So once the controversy hit full speed, people started pulling up old clips related to Hassan and how he treats his pets. Someone found footage from years ago of his old fish, where Hassan grabbed fish by the tail and said something like, "If you can run right now, I will end you," because I think they're trying to get fish and it's
Sure.
still.
Oh, sure.
Hey! Here.
Why are you so angry, sir?
No, come here. Stay. If you run right now, I'll kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? Right in front of everyone. I censor those because I just don't want them to be shown here, but you can tell by the color of the socks and shorts that those two clips are not the same day. Another old clip shows us on the socks friend Austin taking a picture of and like, it seems to be which is a controversial training, but a little bit harsh. Right? This is apparently something that Hassan can do from his audience, but Austin acts from the shirt from the camera while the stream is running, and you can see from his reaction how embarrassed he seems. So, Hassan compared owning pets and having slaves, saying something along the lines of, "Hey, you have an animal. Slave and shackle every day and drag around by the neck. You have an animal that you are taking care of. You have a literal slave, and not just like a slave, but you have a literal slave that you shackle, okay? Every day, pull from their neck and take it care of you can take it to. And on top of that, you are a slave. You're a slave. You have a slave. It's not a slave. It's important. It's personal consumption. It's making yourself feel better. Comparing the person who posts that clip suggests it's not management. So, yeah, it's competitorship overall. But I mean, still, if using the blasting his dog with electrical currents, maybe not the ethical auditor to get with. So, I don't know. But people also brought back up his response when Lydia got in trouble for eating her cat across the room. Because the song, he essentially was like, "Excuse me for not caring about a Twitch streamer or her cat. Where's the concern for actual games?" 50,000 people walk behind a large being excuse me for not giving a about a trigger, like throwing eating her cat. Like, Ricky Gervais train in tweeting about this. Are you joking? Like, where is the priority for human beings? I don't like arguments like that. Like, does that mean that we should only care about animals? After all the problems for humans around the world are perfectly solved, like, hello? It just doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, she eating her cat? Well, should we not be addressing all of the societal problems of human beings around the world? Sure, we can do that, but I'd still justify her eating her cat across the room. And then eventually the situation got even bigger because Critical made a video breaking down the whole situation, and his take is exactly
Fuck! Oh my god, I had him, bro.